the BobbethTV is live. You know what that means. We've got another episode. Ooh, what's happening with my images there? Of BobbethTV coming your way. We are live in Germany. That is right. We have headed over to, I haven't said this right, Oschersleben, Motorsport Arena, Oschersleben in Germany. I did have a little spiel set up. Where is it? Here it is. All right. So tonight, the Thunder of sorry, we'll start that again. I'm trying to read it off a little script. Tonight, the Thunder of G3 V8 Supercars echoes across Europe. Welcome to Motorsport Arena, Oschersleben, a tight technical circuit where Australia's most powerful touring cars will be pushed to their limit. Now, with narrow apexes, heavy braking zones, and almost no room for error, it's a track that demands precision, patience, and a whole lot of throttle control. Strap in. This one's going to be a fight. As you can see there, we've got the apparently we've got the American measurements up there: 2.241 miles, 3.69 kilometers. Now it has 14 turns that are mostly high-speed technical corners. It is the layout style is flat, tight, and very rhythm-based. Now the runoff is minimal, mostly it's grass and curbing, and then obviously overtaking will be difficult. Most chances are in turn 1, turn 3, which is called the hotel, and turn 14, the final chicane. All right, we're in practice at the moment. We've still got about 20 minutes before the main event starts, but we'd like to sort of catch up and sort of see what is going on out on the track as some of those times start to come in. 1:28.674 for Stephen Varga, Peter Van Wingard, 1:28.777. Tim Nickel, 1:28.900, 1:28.955 for Alex Court. Rob Chandler, 1:29.737. Welcome to G1. How are you going? Thanks for the follow yesterday, by the way. Appreciate it. Also, a little Woto 333 up the 8. That's Max. Am I going to say this right? Max Mokolov. 1:31.766. He's got Joshua Rimmer there, 1:42.36. Cliff Potter, Ram Jams on the board, 1:35.52 as the boys all start to sort of qualify. Looks like we're at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19. Thanks for the follow, little word. I appreciate it. 19 drivers registered for this round of V8 Supercars racing for the 420 Oz Sim Racing League. We started off last week. Where were we last week? I've forgotten already. It was a great track. Virginia International Raceway. That's right. We're off to Mount Panorama. It's Gibbo from the Discord. Thanks, brother. No worries, man. Welcome to join. Oh, yeah, I get it. G1 BBR. Yeah, Gibbo. Yep, awesome. Yeah, looking very much next week to broadcasting Bathurst, Mount Panorama. That is a bit of a dream for Australian race car drivers and broadcasters, it turns out. So I can't wait to broadcast that. Now, last week, and if you have looked over some of the results for the racing here, then you will know Ryan Hunter is the man to watch. Now, in saying that, I do not see Ryan's name on the board here tonight, so we will have a new winner. Where's the is it Jack? So, little word, you're after Jackson. There's the Jackson Sufong there, I believe. Unless there's any other Jacksons on the board, just in case it's a popular name. No, there is a Jackson. There is 11. The 11 car on the leaderboard. Have the boys talk to you about some things going on in the background? It's not bad. Are you suggesting get the boys in like Wayne and Oh, I'm terrible with names at the moment. It's the second week with the boys. Wade and Frankie. You think getting them in the booth, sort of having a bit of a chat about what's going on in the league? That's not a bad idea, man. It's not a bad idea at all. We'll look at that. We were looking at maybe starting to do some driver interviews as well, but we didn't want to sort of spring that on the drivers. So we're sort of just easing everyone into the process. All right, that is Jackson Sufong. We're just going to jump back around the track, have a look at some other drivers again. There is That looks like it is Luke Fallon there in the 18 machine. Can't quite tell who's just ahead of him. Can we chat after the race, please? Look, yeah, I'll see how it go. I may have to leave straight after the race. It's Mother's Day, obviously, today, and my partner is at my in-laws. I didn't go because I had this commitment, so I may have to sort of just family stuff. But you feel free anytime, Gibbo, even right now. Send me a Discord message anytime. I'm one of those guys. My DMs are always open. And I'll respond when I can. So don't feel like, oh, I don't want to message you now, it's too late, or time zones or whatever. Just message me on Discord if you've got any ideas or if you've got anything you want to run by me. All right, how is Rob driving? Rob Chandler. Let's jump up to Rob and have a look at him. There he is. Oh, Rob, he's in my favourite car. Dickie Johnson's Shell Ford, love it. The Shell Helix. Well, it's not the Dickie Johnson one. Sorry, I mistook that one. It's got the more modernised Shell Helix. Showing off his drifting abilities there. That would look sick if he caught it back in. These guys are much better skilled drivers than I am. I tried the old road course stuff out, and it is tough. Stephen Vargas still quick time here tonight. So will he be the replacement for Ryan Hunter on the leaderboard? I reckon Van Wingard, Alex Court, Tim Nichols, Rob Chandler even. They're all going to have a little bit to say about that. All right, now the Gen 3s here at Oschersleben. I hope I'm saying, look, I'm actually German. My family heritage is German. My partner's heritage is German and Spanish. So I feel like I should know this, but I don't. But I'm going to call it Oschersleben and hope that I'm saying it correctly. Now, Gen 3 supercars here at Oschersleben, they're handling. Now, these cars are not designed for the tight Euro-style tracks, which makes for a real challenge. They're a lot harder to fight on the turns with speed. It's big power, little downforce, so wheel spin and lockups will be common. Unstable braking is going to be an issue, especially in the tight corners like T1 or T14. Now, no traction control or ABS, so mistakes are easy and they will be frequent. That's not a shot at the drivers. That's just the combination of the track and the car. Now, the curb sensitivity will come into play. These cars do not like riding the curb. So if any of them get into the chicane and sort of straighten that out a little bit too much, we'll have to watch out because it may be some white knuckles stuff. There's the chicanes there. This little left-hander. This is who are we watching? Yeah. Luke Fallon. Actually, let's just stay on Luke, because where's Luke on the leaderboard? Okay, so Luke is coming around the track. Let's use Luke to get a bit of an idea of what the track is like. All right, we've lost him. We need to get to a static cam, Bob. Here he comes. Oh, no, we lost him. I think he might have gone down into the pits. The 888. Might be a good one. Josh Rimmer. Oh, looks like you got a little bit of contact there. All right, we might just go back and we'll just sort of talk about it. So basically, turn 1 is the first chicane. It is tight right left. It is a very good overtaking spot. Expect dive bombs lap 1 chaos. There will be lockups over commitment, especially as the tyres wear later in the race. And the exit can be slippery. Then there's a short, turn 2 is a short shoot left. It's not a passing zone, but drivers will jostle for lineup as they head into Hotel Corner. Hotel Corner is turn 3. That is the hairpin that we can see. If you look at the track map there, the 888, the 88, they're all coming through at the 723. Not on the screen, but on the track map. Then there's the turn 4, which is the right flick, which leads into turn 5. The Shell S's, the S-bends, the left 90-degree turn at turn 7, a double apex left and right up through turns 8 and 9. Turn 10 will be a right flick into a short straightaway. And then you've got the final chicane complex for 11 and 13 leading up to the final curve, which is a turn of 14. That's a long right-handing sweeper onto that front straightaway. Exit speed, obviously everything there that will set up those drag races out of the straightaway. I reckon. Let's just grab that stuff. There we go. All right, I don't talk shop too much, but one thing I am enjoying, this is my second ever Australian League to broadcast. And the first one was in the NASCAR League, so a little bit different. But V8 Supercars, this one a little bit more home style for me, and I really do enjoy it, and hope that it does lead to more Australian racing being shown on our screens, because we have some awesome drivers both on road course, NASCAR, dirt, that do need showcasing. Right now, though, we're showcasing Motorsport Arena here in Germany, 420 Oz Sim Racing League. Currently in qualifying. Got about 2 minutes to go to set some quick times, but I reckon tyre wear, track wear starting to play a factor, so I think it's now just getting used to the turns. Tim Nicol did take quick time 128.204. Full 3/10 quicker than the 128.504 Stephen Vargas set early in the pace. So they will have a 5-minute roll around after this warm-ups before the feature. That is basically so when the guys set up for qualifying, they will set the car up for a 15-minute race, basically, so they can run the car a little bit harder, a little bit hotter, and not have to worry about the extended sort of pressure on the engine. But what that means then is you need to make some changes for the race. Obviously, an hour race will be about 35 laps. What happens there is obviously that's 3 times as long, so you can't run that car qualifying wise 3 times as long as you normally would qualifying. It's bad enough in qualifying. Some of the stuff will start to wear. So the boys will make some changes after they finish up qualifying, put some more life into it, a little bit more tape, to use NASCAR words, and just sort of modify that for a little bit of a more extended run. The warm-up, while only 5 minutes, a third of the qualifying time, will just give them a bit of an idea of what that's like, any sort of handling they may have needed to do because of the tight technical turns, the twisty turns. Here, these cars not aerodynamically sound, so they are power. It is engine and raw first, and handling second with these things. That man on our screens, Joshua Rimmer. I mentioned that the time's probably not likely to be beaten as we get towards the end of the qualifying, tyre wear, track wear, things like that. But Joshua Rimmer, 128.096. We thought that 128.504 Stephen Vargas said early in the piece was a quick time. 3/10 quicker was Tim Nicol. Then Joshua Rimmer coming in and just showing the boys how it's done late with that clutch feature start. All right, as the cars just get ready for warm-ups. Qualifying ends at the 15-minute mark, basically, but it will roll through to about the 20-minute mark just to give the boys all that time to finish up. Happy Mother's Day also to all the beautiful mothers out there. To my mum, to my mother-in-law, to my beautiful partner, stepmother to my children, Vicky Schuler, Teresa, all the mums I know out there. Cassie, just trying to think of all the iRacing mums I know. That sounds a little bit dodgy. But big ups to the mums in our life. I don't know about you lot, but I wouldn't be where I am without mine. So happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there, and hope whoever gets it done for their mum. Excuse me. All right, warm-ups are starting now. It's going to give me a bit of time to grab a drink, get stretched out. Can I shout out Chantel? Is it Chanel, my partner, and the mother to my... Yeah, big ups. Happy Mother's Day, Chanel. I hope Gibbo spoils you, and I hope the young'un, if old enough, also showed you much love. Like I say, mums, wives, partners, girlfriends, situationships, they are the unsung crew chiefs of the little crew that we get going. You know, look after the family when we're doing this fun hobby we do, and none more than the closest loved one. So yeah, happy Mother's Day, Chanel. Shadow the Typo is my point lighting in for you, Chris Hepp. Let's have a look, Chris. Actually, you are on our screens right now. You're our lone American race car driver. Welcome, brother. That is perfect timing. It's JAC Motorsports there, Chris Hepp. Is it supposed to be the red, white, and blue? Shout out that American pride. I hope so. But that looks great if it is. Paul Fulton there. The safety first machine. Here comes Chris. We can't get enough of Chris Hepp on the screen there. Is it Heppy or Hepp? There's Paul again. Doubt we'll get to see any leaderboard at times up on the screen just purely because minute and a half laps, only about 2 minutes in, the guys had to get up to speed and sort of get that first lap started. So a lot of them are just starting to come around to start that lap now. Still processing. Just trying to get some tools ready for the race, and gee, some of them are a bit dodge. So what we're watching it for here with the drivers in warm-up is going to be brake control in those heavy zones, looking at the exit speed management out of the turns, and basically just using most of that track as they can, as we see there coming out of the, I believe that is, oh no, that's the backstretch into the S's here. Up to the hotel hairpin. Almost after this big right-hander. I'm starting to get used to the track already. Now, tyre wear generally does become a factor. Obviously, cars will overheat the rears easily, especially in the technical parts of the track. Oh, man. Yeah, it is definitely something to watch here as we see the 868 Stephen Varga, Quantum racing driver, heading on into the pits. Looks good, thanks. Excellent. It does very much look good, man. Shout out to your rap guy. Sorry about that. I can't find my bowl. Alright, just taking this time to visit the Bobbeth Studio coffee room, yeah. Just make sure you all hydrate, guys. Water, cordial, whatever your favourite sipping liquid is. So we're about to start an hour's worth of racing. And I know I won't be able to get out of my seat. Sorry about that background noise. I normally mute myself when I do that, but I just completely forgot because I was sort of trying to rush back to the room. And I almost forgot the other thing I wanted to grab. All right, looks like warm-up has concluded just in time for us to have a look at the grid for tonight's race. 18 cars went out in warm-up. 18, have qualified for this race. Let's get a look at that starting grid. I do see the pace car there, so it looks like we may have a rolling start here tonight. It is the Grand Prix circuit, so I know the Grand Prix generally do rolling starts as well. But let's have a look at this grid. So on that front row, Joshua Rimmer and Tim Nicol on alongside him. Stephen Varga and Alex Court are we on that second row. Third row is going to be Peter Van Wingard and Luke Fallon. Fourth row, Juha Sorella. I really hope I'm saying that correctly from last week. And Rob Chandler. Then we've got Chris Hepp and Cliff Potter. Ram Jam there alongside Chris Hepp on the fifth row. Wayne Rogers and Brad Armstrong on that sixth row. Seventh row. I'm going to get that on the screen as well, just because I can read it doesn't mean you can. Wade Georgeson and Paul Fulton. Max Mokolov and Jackson Sufong on that eighth row, and then the ninth and final row. It looks like it's going to be Cole Douglas and Hayden Watson. As we get this race started, green flag. It is not a rolling start. Pace car there for looks only as we come racing down into that first little chicane there into the big hairpin turn. It is Tim Nicol up the front. Getting a little bit of a car lead there. Oh, let's get the gap and information all correct on our screens. Tim Nicol with about a 1 second lead on Alex Court. Stephen Varga, Joshua Rimmer, Peter Van Wingard back there in the top five. Let's see, it's basically follow the leader as you sort of get that car up to speed, get it used to what it's doing, get those tyres sticking a little bit more warmed up. I'm not saying that though, Tim at Nicol really wasting a little time getting out there. I imagine it would be a similar situation to last week with the 50% fuel run. So look for, there will be 2 stops. So look for those guys to, some of them will potentially go in early. I think we saw about lap 20, some in about lap 30, and then a lot towards the end where they were just trying to sort of pick up time and fuel reserves. So we're flagged on the 4th place. Joshua Rimmer, the 888 machine. He is the mobile car that we briefly see coming around the turns there, just behind Stephen Varga's beautiful machine. The broil these V8s a little bit louder. Riding inside Joshua Rimmer's race car there, back to Cliff Potter's. He's in at 9th place, the Stella Artois car. He's got the Make It Super Cheap Auto car behind him. Up in front, Chris Happy in the who is our lone American. We do have a few non-Australian drivers. I'm not great with flags, but I believe Sweden, Switzerland maybe, Not sure of those other couple, but yeah, some international drivers joining the field here tonight. Respect, considering time zones might be a bit difficult, or a little bit off track there for Alex Court there in the second place car, driving for Quantum Motorsports. Oh, we see there Cliff Potter getting a little loose. Looked like Brad Armstrong and Wayne Rogers had to check up a little bit there just to make sure there was no contact. Oh no, I just realised something. Apparently we're playing a way out, not iRacing. Let's do that instead, update that. So to get us on the right category on Twitch and get the right people seeing us. I am so sorry. Drivers still just settling in. We can see on the track map there the 23-hour race leader. Tim Nickel has he's got that lead out about 2.5 seconds now. Very much emulating the run we saw last week of the other gentleman that seems to be quite dominant here in the V8 Supercars, Ryan Hunter. Not here tonight, unfortunately. So we will have a different winner. Will it be the Quantum Racing driver of Tim Nickel? Bit of a tight technical track, so it does have the illusion that it's a bit of a slower track. Let me just get the speeds up on the screen for you in just a moment. Let's see, where would that be? We'll get the top speed popping up out of the, oh, oops, no we won't, we'll go to that one. We'll go to car number. We'll get the top speed popping out of the leaderboard there. So 240 odd Ks, 241, 245, I see there, 246. Oh, a little bit of contact there between the two drivers, Paul Fulton, and I believe that is Wade Georgeson there as well, the boss man himself. They get it back on the track and back up to speed though. Jam. Cliff Potter in at 9th place. Does have the lone American just ahead of him, Chris Happy. Brad Armstrong right there back behind him. Now we've jumped up to the top 5. There is Joshua Rimmer just ahead of him since 4th place. Peter Van Wingard. Luke Fallon back there in the Monster Energy machine as well. Just lap 5 of 6 minutes in. Not a lot of drama. The cars have sort of spread themselves out. This top 4 here, much like last week, that top 4 to 8 was quite competitive and quite close in distance and times. We can see through the track there. 9th and 10th, Cliff Potter and Brad Armstrong quite close to each other. Not a lot of gap between Paul Fulton and Wade Georgeson. Rob Chandler's back there. So just a couple of cars length gaps between the different cars as they sort of settled into their natural speed and rhythm. See which one of those people are at biding time, are sort of resting their car. There's an infield inside pass one of the cars. Looked like he was going to stay wide and let him pass, but he stayed wide and went off track. We come out of the hotel hairpin into the straightaway for the start-finish line to start lap 6. Might actually... So what would we say the average lap would be? Let's look at some best times. We'll say 1:31. .39.5, so yeah, about 35 to 39 laps we should be expecting here tonight as we jump inside the 723 racing machine. Peter Van Wingard, 723. That's Tickford Racing's Luke Fallon as well, the Monster Energy truck. There's the two men on our screen. These two battled it out a bit last week as well. Sort of seeing similar race speeds throughout the track in terms of what drivers match other drivers. These two definitely have had some 4th, 5th and 6th place battles already on BobbethTV. Last week alone, some great battles. There was a 3rd driver, Juha Cirilla, was a big part of that. He's back there. He is a part of that 5th, 6th and 7th run. So a little bit of history repeating itself this week since last week. Wonder if Bathurst will be the same. All right, let's give a bit of info about the cars and the stints. Fuel strategy. So the Gen 3 V8 supercars, sorry, they use about 2.6 litres per lap, depending on your driving style and the track. Now, that 50% fuel tank, about 50-55 litres. It does vary depending on the Ford or the Chev. So you're looking at about 18 to 20 odd laps per tank at most. So some of those tanks would start to be looking like about a third of the way there, 2/5. So you get about 27, 33 running minutes of fuel time with 50%. So some of them will be able to do a one-stop finish. Obviously, a minimum of one stop is required. So somewhere between 18 and 22, obviously, or minute 28, 32, depending on what the fuel use and traffic is like. Oh, there's Kyle Douglas has come off the track. Currently 2 laps down back there at 17th. Looks like Hayden Watson did not. I thought he took the track right at the start, but has not taken the track, or is no longer in this race. All right, lap 9 of our 1 hour long race here tonight. That just sounds crazy. An hour longer racing, but much like last week, it just flew by. 6th of the race, Bob. The 6 10-minute blocks in an hour, you idiot. I just realised I said a 10th of the race earlier. We're about a 5th of the race in, a little over a 5th, as Tim Nickel extends that lead to 3.6 seconds over Stephen Varga at 2nd Alex Court's currently running at third with Joshua Rimmer and Peter Van Wingard behind him in fourth and fifth. Luke Fallon and Drew Hasarilla in sixth and seventh. Chris Heppy in eighth. Cliff Potter, Cliff Ramjam Potter in ninth. Brad Armstrong wraps up that 10th spot. Wayne Rogers in 11th. Jackson Sufong in 12th. 13th will be Max Mokolov. 14th, Rob Chandler. Paul Fulton in 15th, even if I know how to say words properly. Wade Georgeson in 16th, 17th, Kyle Douglas. And finishing up in 18th here tonight will be Hayden Watson, not taking the field. Good shot down that straightaway to the start-finish line there as we watch them racing their way down into the first lot of S-bends. Right there, Peter Van Wingard. Right behind him is Luke Fallon. One of the stars of last week's show and looking to providing a entertaining battle here again tonight. Who won that battle last week? Let's have a look. That was, of course, our Virginia International Raceway Round 4 race. Luke Fallon finished in fourth. Peter Van Wingard took out a seventh in last week's battle. Third place, Alex Court. There's Stephen Varga just right in front of him. You can see second place. You can smell it, but you could possibly see Joshua Rimmer back there in the mirror in fourth. Tim Nickel out to a 4-second lead. We can see on the track map where's the 23. He's coming through the hairpin turn there at the center of the track. Boys just coming through that now. We can just see him at the top of the screen. Max Mokolov and Rob Chandler having a bit of a battle for 13th and 14th, I can see. Let's just go check this out. Max currently the race leader in this one-on-one battle with Rob Chandler. There we go. All right, so now we can see what cars they are. We can see what nationality the drivers are. So top 4 Australian results so far there. The rest of the international group back there in that top 5 to 8. We have Max Mokolov as well in 13th. Australian League, but international representation. For those of you just tuning in, this is the 420 Ossim Racing League Gen 3 V8 Supercars. We're currently at Motorsport Arena Oschersleben in Germany. Home of the Volkswagen. All right, give me just one moment. Just gonna go deal with the dog. He's a pain when the boss lady's not here. And he has these panic attacks. I'm just going to go chill him out. right, sorry about that. Oh, Max Mokolov there. That battle between him and Robert Chandler. Always getting the better of Max, but still able to hold on to extends that race lead out a little bit from that 14th place driver. Ram Jam, Cliff Potter there, 420 Ossim racing member, the 11th place driver, 82 car, Stella Artois. He's got the Winfield just ahead of him. That's Wayne Rogers. Winfield machine, sorry, behind him though. We do see Jackson Sufong as well. That's the problem when you're battling some cars in front of you. The car behind you can work his way up, and it just becomes quite a tricky concept. Looks like Kyle Douglas has elected to put that V8 supercar in the pits. 16 cars remain, lap 14, almost the halfway mark. About 35, 39 laps we expect. We're about halfway to 30 almost. Starting to look at those guys. We started to look at the fuel tank and sort of going, all right, well, what's it doing? How are we looking here? Pit window starting to approach. About 4 laps away, 4 to 6 laps away. Have any gone in yet? Did we miss any pits during the racing so far? Let's have a look at the pit strategy. Why isn't it loading? Remote. That's really weird. Just trying to get the pit strategy information up, but seems my telemetry software not providing it at the moment. Maybe we can have a look via the leaderboard. Alright, looks like Rob Chandler had gone back into the pits on lap 1. Cole Douglas ended via lap 11. But that would have been when he was retiring. So no one has gone into the pits yet. Pit strategy, the same for everyone. Just use that fuel. There's Chris Heppy there. Jack Motorsports, JC Motorsports driver. Currently in 8th place. 9th place, Brad Armstrong behind him. Luke Fallon in 7th. You see Brad Armstrong kicking up a bit of dirt there, trying to get that car back on the track. Some good driving there. Chris really doesn't look like he's running off type. He's running where he wants to run. Was it Brad trying to make some moves, trying to do some sneaky little runs there to try and close that gap down, try and give himself a bit of a better line through. It's whatever works for you. There is a little bit of car versus track line that you do need to comply with, but the majority of it is your comfort zone. What are you all comfortable with? How you handle them the best? Quite a mesmerising little battle to watch, isn't it? Oh, Brad gets the move there on the inside. Got on the brakes, got it in low and just took off. There's Stephen Varga right there. Joshua Rimmer just behind him. Up to the top of the 3 and 4 battle here. 3.7 second lead over Alex Court, Tim Nicol, our race leader. That was about 4 seconds, so I feel like that's coming down. Just saw on the track map there, I think the 8 Jackson, is 8 Jackson Sufong? No, it's Max Mokolova, Jackson Sufong, coming off track, but heading into the pits as well to get that refuel going. There's Alex Court just coming out onto the straightaway to the run to the start finish line. Oh no, that's not. That is where are we? 23. Oh yeah, it was the straightaway off the start finish line. Back to Alex Court, still out on the track, as is Tim Nichols. It looks like just a couple of guys that went into the pits. Let's revisit that pit lap. Just Jackson and Max have visited the pit so far. We'll leave that up just so we can keep an eye on when that will occur, because yeah, we are now officially in the pit window. Two quantum drivers out there, Stephen Varga, Tim Nicol, 1 and 3rd at the moment. Tim's probably got the easier, not the easier battle, but the more distance battle with Alex Court. Stephen Varga here has got Joshua Rimmer right there in that 05 mobile machine. The 888 on our leaderboards. He has got that battle going there, side by side as they come in to the right hand of the 888's going to have it. What a play. Nice move. Stephen Varga falls back to 4th. Joshua Rimmer, oh, carried way too much speed into the turn though. Got sideways, drifted it out. He is going to get a lifeline though, because it looks like Stephen Varga has headed into the pits. Peter Van Wingard is going to stay out. And he is going to challenge Joshua Rimmer for that top 3 spot. Oh, pit window shaking things up here, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up on the halfway mark of this race time-wise, Bob. But time-wise, 27 minutes, 40 seconds in. 30 minutes will be the halfway mark. Hour-long race. These boys don't do it via total laps. They do it via total time. So the racing is from 8 p.m. Australian to 9 p.m. Australian Sunday nights, exclusively here on BobbethTV, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. It's the 420 Racing League. For Gen 3 V8 Supercars. It's pretty good driving here tonight for a technical track, Virginia International Raceway. Also, a bit of a technical one. What I consider one of the most realistically scanned tracks in all of iRacing. And the boys visited that last week. There was a little bit of an overrun off the tracks and things like that. Just throttle speed through turns, a bit tricky. But the boys really just putting on some great racing here at the Motorsport Arena. Germany really putting on a show. Got a bit of a three-car battle going on here. The 888 Josh Rimmer. He had been in the pits. They've got Rob Chandler, Stephen Varga. Looks like we've got a bit of an off-track issue there with Wade Georgeson. As we jump back up to Rob and the boys. Lap 21, 30 minutes into this race. We might even get about 40 odd laps out of this race. The rate the boys are going. Some good consistent lap times. Our current race leader, Peter Van Wingard, as Tim Nicol has gone back to the has gone to the pits. He has fallen back to 5th. We can see there he went in on lap 20, lap 18 for Stephen Varga, lap 19 for Joshua Rimmer. So Peter Van Wingard, Juha Sorella, Luke Fallon, Brad Armstrong, Wayne Rogers, Cliff Potter, Paul Fulton and Wade Georgeson have not entered the pits as of yet. So let's see what Peter's going to do. Is he going to build a bit of a run and then hope he can sort of just get in, get some tyres and fuel and get back out on the track and maintain that podium / top 5 run? Will Tim Nichols, Brad Armstrong and crew have a chance to get themselves up into the lead for a little bit, but they also need to enter the pits. That's Stephen Varga. He's in 8th place. Joshua Rimmer behind him. Cliff Potter is the car in front of him. He is racing his way back into this race. Does have a number of cars ahead of him, about 5 or 6 that have not pitted. Peter Van Wingard has headed into the pits, lap 21. Juha Sorella, our new race leader. Looks like Luke Fallon as well. Brad Armstrong electing to stay out. Did see another driver there with Stephen and Joshua going on. I think that's Cliff Potter going into the pits. See there, Brad Armstrong, a hard charger at the moment, is up 10 spots from his 12th place starting position. He's currently in 2nd. Tough luck award currently with Arcs Court. He is all the way down there in 15th, 11 spots down. That is only because of pits. So most of these guys will balance back out very shortly. Only about 2 or 3 laps left in that pit window. These boys really sucking the juice out of that race car though. Juha, Brad, Wayne, and Wade. So just 4 cars remain that have not yet visited the pits for fuel. Triple H just sticking his nose out, having a bit of a look. All right, so Tim Nicol just got past Brad Armstrong. Oh, we just had, that looks like is Wayne Rogers coming off track there. Brad Armstrong has popped himself in pit lane. So Looks like it's just Wade Georgeson and Juha Sarila now. Wade right back there in 13th, so he has a bit of an idea of when he can pit and not really have to worry about defending spots. He's back there a little bit in the field anyway, but Juha Sarila, he is about 16 seconds on Tim Nicol. I don't think that's enough time to get in and out of the pits. Let's have a look at some of the average pit times and see what they were like. Yeah, 20 seconds, 24 seconds. Total times there around that 50-second mark. So that is certainly going to play into that pit stop and the time gained by some of these drivers. He could fall back to as far as 7th or 8th there. There we go, Juha's in the pits, and now Wade Georgeson, the last car remaining. This will be a green flag run for the remainder of this race. Said this at the head of the show, but we'll say it again. Big ups to all the mums out there in the iRacing space. I know a lot of them, Vicky Schuler, Teresa, Cassie. Oh, there's a bunch. There's a bunch. Love yous all. Happy Mother's Day to my mum, my in-law, my partner in crime as well. So a lot of different mums out there that instead of be spoiled every day, but this is the day where we definitely do it. They know they're getting spoiled today, type of thing. Wade Georgeson in the pits. That is the last car to visit the pits. So we can pretty much expect with all of those late pits, no one will need to do a second pit. They will be able to run the rest of this race through. Weight will change, obviously, as the car gets lighter, as the fuel amount decreases, but the boys will be prepared for that as we get to lap 24 of 1 hour's worth of racing. We estimate about 35 to 40 laps, I guess. Jim Nicol back to our race lead. Joshua Rumer currently second, Stephen Varga third, Peter Van Wingard and Luke Fallon fourth and fifth. There's a good look at our top three second and third drivers right there. In the top 10, Juha Sarila, Jackson Sufong, Brad Armstrong, Wayne Rogers, Rob Chandler are 6, 7, 8, 9th and 10th. 11 to 15 in our remaining drivers. Looks like Wade Georgeson still in the pits. Rob Chandler, Cliff Potter, Alex Court, Chris Heppy, Paul Fulton, and Max Mokolov. Just a reminder, next week we head to Bathurst, Mount Panorama, pinnacle of Australian V8 Supercars racing. I cannot wait to call that one. Currently watching Jackson Sufong. Behind him was Brad Armstrong. Now we've jumped up to Ram Jam and Alex Court. Alex was up there in the top of 3, but with the pitting strategy, unfortunately, currently in at 12th, 8 spots down from where he started in 4th. Ooh, I feel like Brad might be a little bit quicker than Jackson, but oh, there we go. I was going to say, cut off the battle there. That was the worst camera cut in the history of V8 Supercars broadcasting, Bob. We don't care about that other battle. Just stay up here, please. Still a twi car at Alex Court, having a great battle as well, but my camera crew can't decide. They're arguing over who we should view. Rockstar versus the Super Cheap Auto Machine. Jackson Sufong versus, I've already forgotten who was behind it. Brad Armstrong. I'm so sorry, Brad. Brad Armstrong. It is the 11 versus the 88. 7th versus 8th. All right, almost up to our 30th lap. Lap 29, about halfway in. Tim Nichols, that race leader, 10.7, 3, 4, 10.7 second lead over second place Josh Rimmer. Stephen Varga back there in 3rd. Peter Van Wingard and Luke Fallon still battling it out in 4th and 5th. But Juhas really in at 6th. He sort of had that little spot to himself because back here in 7th and 8th, Brad Armstrong, Jackson Sufong, and now that looks to me like Robert Chandler's back there as well. Wayne Rogers. Looks like Alex Court in the purple machine. Ooh, the 17 going for that outside line run on the turn. Trying to stay side by side with Alex Court. It's a dangerous move on a technical track like Motorsport Arena. As we get 3 wide coming into the turn there. Alex Court's going to go in harder. They're going to come in under brakes, the other two. So Alex Court's going to jump 2 spots from 11th to 9th. Wayne Rogers in 11th. Rob Chandler still in 10th spot. Three-quarters of the way into this race, very close to that 45-minute mark. Just 15 minutes of racing remains, about 10 laps. This is where you start executing if you were conserving fuel and tyre. And if you weren't, this is where you hang on. Why is the overlay not working on the stream? Just trying to fix that, guys. What's going on here? Coming up as not found for some reason. Just update the address. Yeah, that seems to be working. Right, guys, just bear with me while I get this little overlay issue sorted. I don't know why it's not working. It's working. I know it's working. I can see it's working on my end and everything's up on the screen, but it's just try something here. See if we can get the live online one working. There we go. There we go. Oh. No, that's all wrong. Oh, I see the problem. No, that is wrong. Okay, sorry about this, guys. I'm not sure. Oh, the proper one's back. Okay. I'm not sure what was going on there. That was really weird. It was all fine at my side, and I just noticed on the stream overlay that it wasn't there. See the screen. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Having a few technical difficulties there. All right, I think I'm back. I think I'm good. Everything's sort of where it needs to be. Just the 15 cars still in this race. The dying 10 minutes, not that far out. We're on lap 33. Max Mokolov is currently in 15th. Paul Fulton in 14th. Chris Heppy in 13th. Ram Jam in 12th. Wayne Rogers in 11th. Rob Chandler in currently 10th. 9th, Jackson Sufong. Alex Courts running in 8th. Brad Armstrong 7th. Juha Cirilla in 6th. Our top 5 is going to be Luke Fallon, Peter Van Wingard, Stephen Varga, Joshua Rimmer, and Tim Nickel is our current race leader. There's Tim Nickel there, trying to work out which Winfield car that is. It is not a second place. It is, oh, here we go. We can see on the leaderboard, 23. He's a 13. It's Wayne Rogers. I was thinking it was Wayne. There he is there, the 13. Nissan Winfield, 13. But it's a Chev, mate. Back there behind him is Cliff Potter. Jackson Sufong ran a strong 9th place race. Rob Chandler back there behind him. Alex Court up in front of him, not by a lot, by about 5 seconds. But they do have Rob Chandler and Jackson Sufong have a couple of other cars behind them. Wayne Rogers, Cliff Ram Jam Potter, Chris Heppy's back there, Paul Fulton, Max Mokolov as well. Chandler, Jackson Sufong, Wayne Rogers, I think it is it? That's Rob Chandler. Yeah, Wayne Rogers back there behind them, and that is most certainly Jackson Sufong up the front. There's not many laps to go. It's about 4 or 5 laps remain. For a technical track, I honestly expected, and once again, not a shot at the drivers, a highly advanced technical track. I really did expect a lot more issues, a lot more off-road, off-track stuff. Guys having problems with the turns, things like that. But they have put on a show here tonight. They have tamed one of the toughest tracks. Some people barely, others really sort of fighting for it. There is the 23 car of Tim Nichols just trying to make his way past a couple of those other cars there. Having trouble making out who that is. That is the Luke Fallon Rockstar. And I believe the other one is the 696, maybe? It's hard to tell on the track map. And they go by too fast for me to tell what numbers are on them. The 11. It is the 11 of Jackson Sufong. Oh, no, I knew that. I knew that was Jackson in the 11, the Rockstar. Oh, Rob Chandler is the Shell Helix 17. I'm an idiot. Sorry, guys. This is my second week with the 420 Aussim Racing League. So still getting to know the cars, the drivers. But they are a great bunch already, can to tell. Oh, a bit of contact there. Jackson just cut over the nose of Rob Chandler. Looks like Cliff Potter and Wayne Rogers also going to come down through there. Oh, no, that's Joshua Rimmer, sorry, in the 05 machine. Oof. Cliff Potter almost poked his nose where it did not need to be. Lap 37. Less than 5 minutes remain in this battle. Just remember Mount Panorama. We are heading to New South Wales, Bathurst next week. Pinnacle of Australian sports racing. That is going to be a doozy of a race. Racing down that home stretch. Lap 38 underway. Based on the time remaining, you would think, yeah, 39. Maybe they'll get the 40th lap, I believe, will be the final lap. So an hour-long race, but we complete the lap that we achieved at that hour point. So I believe 40 laps will be the order here. Now, Bathurst, Mount Panorama next week. Going to be very interesting. I did see when looking at the schedule, 30% fuel. So normally in an hour race, the boys have 50% fuel on the tracks, 30% fuel for Bathurst. So pit strategies are going to be a must. It's going to be like a little mini enduro, like 5 times speed. But it is going to be a beast of a race. They're almost 3 wide coming down that just straight away there. Into the big right-hander they come. That is Cliff Potter, Rob Chandler, and Jackson Sufong, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Now Rob Chandler and Jackson having a battle. Looks like Rob's going to take that one as they roll past the big right-hander hairpin pit entry exit as they get to the straightaway. They will begin their lap 39. Chris Happy there. That is also, I believe, Brad Armstrong. Jump up to the 3rd place, Stephen Varga, Peter Van Wingard back there No, sorry. Yeah, Peter Van Wingard, maybe. Is that behind him? Oh, no, that is the Rockstar Energy Machine, which is the 11 car. There we go. Jackson Sufong. How could I forget Jackson? Hey, little Hayden. What do you use to stream like all your overlay stuff? It's called SDK Gaming Live Timing. So it's software. It's not free. You do have to pay a subscription for it, but it's a very highly customizable, controllable software. Gives you access to everything from your race info, your grid, your results. You can make your own sort of button scenes up, but you can change cameras quite easily. Like if I wanted to jump into, say, the cockpit or static cam, things like that, and results, as I say, obviously customize the leaderboard in terms of what it shows. So we can show some team names there. So Quantum Racing well represented in first, third, and seventh. Obviously WHE Racing, 723 Racing, 420 Oz, and JAC Motorsports. But no, it's great. It's about. It's one of those ones where it's really expensive for a month. It's like $12 a month. But I do a lot of broadcasting. I do about 5-6 races a week. But you can pay like a little bit more. I think it's like $50-$60 for a year or for 6 months or something like that. But no, it's highly worth it. And yeah, could not rate it anything better. All right, that race has come to a conclusion. Some of these drivers start to get the checkered flag. We won't have the results up on the screen yet. As I say, the race is not over until everyone finishes the final lap. But we know the top three. Stephen Varga was our quick time for a long time in qualifying tonight, but fell back and started in third place. That's where he finished in second. He actually qualified in first place. Joshua Rimmer, he was our quick time. He finished in second place. And of course, our winner here tonight started in second, but finished in first, Tim Nicol. Now you got me wondering, Hayden, if there's like a referral program and if I can get some points for that, for getting you subscribed. But no, SDKS, Sierra Delta Kilo Gaming live timing. They also have a free app called Driver Info that the people in the league that are driving, they just download it, fill it in once, they never have to run it again, but it just uploads their driver information, and that's where all the pictures and stuff in the bottom left for the driver info and their team names and stuff come from. All right, I think we've got the results ready. I heard the beeping. So we'll get to the official result. And so then this is another one, as I say, and as you can see, quite customizable. You can get the league info, the car info. In fact, why does that say? I just realized. We'll just fix that now. There we go. Nope. I might have to go off the screen. It still says, for some reason, the changes don't stick. So that is something that is me, I think. Jackson is 104 Motorsports. That's his team. Oh, excellent. Excellent. All right, so Hayden Watson and Kyle Douglas, they retired early, as did Wade Georgeson in 18th, 17th, and 16th. The top 15, Paul Fulton and Max Mokolov, 420 Oz driver, Brad Armstrong and JAC Motorsports driver, Chris Hepp, 13th and 11th, 12th, sorry, 11th. Wayne Rogers, he's also a member of the 420 Oz Sim Racing team. Jackson Sufong finished in 10th. Robert Chandler and Cliff Potter, 9th and 8th. Quantum Motorsports driver Alex Corton, 7th. Juha Cirilla in 6th. The top 5, Tickford Racing's Luke Fallon in 5th. Peter Van Wingard in 4th for 723 Racing. Stephen Varga, Quantum Pecky's Racing driver in 3rd, of course. Joshua Rimmer from WHE Racing. Hashtag 117 in 2nd. But our winner here tonight. I'm Hayden. I was engineer for Jackson. Oh, awesome. Awesome. I love it when a team has like a spotter and an engineer. Like all that extra help really does help. Sorry, but yeah, in first, Quantum Racing at Tim Nickel, Hayden Watson and Jackson, both 104 Motorsport. So Hayden Watson and Jackson Su Fong. Excellent. Well, if they have a look in the Discord, I can't remember what channel it's in. I think there's like a driver info channel. Um, ah, so in the V8 Supercars section of the email of the Discord, there's a channel called SDK Gaming for Stream. Get them to fill that out, and that'll get their information and any pictures or funny little quotes or anything they want to put in up. So, yeah, more than happy to do that for help them out with that, brothers. So, if they have any troubles, tell them to tag me in Discord, and I'll talk them through it. Well, that wraps up another round of Gen 3 V8 Supercars racing here at Motorsports Arena Oschersleben. Oschersleben. We are at Mount Panorama next week. My worst showing, but was a fun race. 12th place, Chris, in this field. I think, that is not a bad effort. You did fall 3 spots from your qualifying position, but technical track. So come back next week. Mount Panorama. I am excited. I cannot wait. If you can hear my dog barking in the background, that's him just freaking out because my partner's still not home from dinner. And apparently my company is not nearly as good enough as hers. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday morning Australian time for the Knuckleheads iRacing League. That's the dirt side of the broadcasts on Mudmule TV, also on BobbethTV, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Come along and check that out if you've got the time. If not, we will be back next week. Shadow the Typo, thanks for that late follow. I appreciate you, brother. Good luck next week as well. Thank you to you, little Hayden. Who else did we have? We had Gibbo. We had little Woto. And all the mums out there. Happy Mother's Day. Love to you all. All right. You know the drill, guys. Thanks for watching. My name's Bob. Love you all. Bye.